So, hi, I'm Ella. I'm a rising senior at Pali, and I love to write and recite poetry. I mainly do this at speech competitions. I'm the captain of Pali's speech team. And so I had this idea for Palo Alto to start a youth poet laureate contest and program. This has been done in a lot of cities. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with Amanda Gorman, who was the National Youth Poet Laureate. And that national level contest, the people who are chosen they have been the youth poet laureate for their cities. And so a lot of cities have this program, and anyone 13 to 18 years old could apply. And then this young poet would represent the Palo Alto City Council by promoting interest in poetry and literature in elementary schools, middle schools. They would write and recite poetry at various public events, and work on and promote literary programs throughout the city, and many other ways that we could brainstorm. An idea is that it could be run through the Palo Alto Public Arts Commission, or be partnered with the Teen Arts Council. And so that's the idea that I had. But any questions or thoughts?
Sure. Well, I know we have another contest. I think it's for younger kids. It's like an art program. I remember seeing it where there would be awards to middle school students who make art for the city. And so I know that we have something like, maybe not this exact program, but we have similar programs. So I'm not sure actually who runs it. I know staff runs it, but we do recognize them at council. So it's a good question. It seems interesting. Is there a program right now in school on this, or?
So yeah, no, what's unique about this is that the person chosen, it would be kind of like a role within the city council, representing the city. There's various contests for poetry and art that are done, within the school, or like you said, for younger children. There's short story contests, I know, in various publications, but this would be specifically a role for somebody that's like representing Palo Alto. Maybe a better way instead of contest to frame it is like they're applying for this. People are applying for this role, and if they're chosen, then they serve a term. And I don't remember the exact length that most of these cities do, but usually it's about a year. And for that year, they have the role of Palo Alto's youth poet laureate. And yeah, they would do various commitments like this for that year, and then another one would be chosen.
Do you think that there would be students actually interested in participating?
I think so. I've gotten to know a lot of people at our school that are really interested in this kind of thing, through speech and through just people who like to submit poetry.
And how do you see the city deploying a program like that? How do you envision this would be used?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of ways that it could be, and that's what's really great about the role. But I think specifically at events, there could be, depending on what the event is, it's kind of like when you have a speech writer, except this is like the creative side of it. So they would be writing something that they would recite, and maybe it's supposed to be inspirational, or it's supposed to just whatever, or if you're introducing like a new person, they could be writing something about that. There's a lot of different ways that they could contribute, kind of like the creative voice within this. And so, like I brought up before, like at the presidential inauguration, like at a very high level, Amanda Gorman recited a poem, and it was kind of a way of inspiring people and getting people excited about this specific thing. And I think that there's a big role in that, especially with a youth poet laureate, with a young person reciting poetry that they wrote, that they feel very passionately about. I think it can really spark people's passion about something, or get them excited about something that the city's doing.
So are there other cities that do this?
Absolutely.
Okay, like which ones?
So I think Berkeley has one, actually.
Really? Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
either Berkeley or Oakland. I think Berkeley has one. And if you look up kind of like the National Youth Poet Laureates, you look back the years from 2022 and before that, they all came from, anyone who's chosen for the national role has to have been the laureate for their city. And so a lot of cities have done this. I think a couple years back, the chosen person was from Berkeley. Like, she had been the poet laureate for Berkeley. And I think that that's really a cool way for a young person to get involved, because it's creative and it's civic engagement.
Yeah, no, of course. Well, thank you for letting us know about it. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.